Hi and welcome back to this video series that we're doing about neck problems, how to care for your neck, how to protect your neck. And if you've watched the previous videos that we've done, then by now you know what kind of problems you might be building up in the background during the day when you're sitting in front of your computer and looking at screens all day long. The previous video we did was focused on the back of the neck. The first video we did was based on the side of the neck. Today we'll be looking at a commonly overlooked muscle which is located on the front of the neck right here. This muscle is known as the sternocleidomastoid, which is a bit of a mouthful, so that's why we normally shorten it to the SCM. And it comes from the back of the ear and runs all the way down. As you can see, you can kind of make it pop out here a little bit for you. Yeah. And you can see it go down all the way to the chest plate, the sternum, and part of it also attaches on the clavicle bone. Now, as this muscle becomes active, when we bring the head forward, we see a lot of issues with that muscle, and the problem is it's very hidden. So typically this muscle never really hurts by itself the way that you can have a painful shoulder or legs after a day at the gym. We don't really notice this. This guy is a little bit more sneaky because in most cases it will cause issues in the head more so. So very common for this muscle to cause headaches in the temporal area, for example. And then secondary, it can cause limitations in moving. So it's responsible for bending sideways and rotating as well. So it can get a little bit locked, and then if that happens, it will actually resist against rotating the other way. So if you're checking yourself and rotating the head, side bending, and you notice that there's a big difference, then this guy might be worth looking into. So two things. First off, releasing any tension that the muscle might have. Now, first we need to get it to the surface a bit. So we're going to be looking at the opposite armpit, bringing the ear to the side, and there we go, there it is. And now from here, you can see if you can kind of grab that muscle, and then you'll find if you give it a bit of a squeeze and pull it away from the spine a bit, you might get a good idea of how that muscle is doing. Now, as we discussed before, muscles are not supposed to be painful when pressed or manipulated. So if there's something going on, so in my case, the right is perfectly fine, really no points of interest. But when I grab the left, I can really feel there's a couple of bands in there that are just not very comfortable. And I can feel a slight bit of referred sensation as well. Good thing, the muscle is quite easy to please. So just by taking a minute or two, going from the top part down and pulling it away a bit, gently massaging it, you can get a ton of relief and also an increase in range of motion. Now, as we did with the other videos, I'm going to show you how to stretch it as well. So a quick recap. The first one that we did for the side, sitting up straight, pulling the chin in slightly, bringing the head to the side until we feel that stretch on the side of the neck. The second one, do the same thing, but turning the head a little bit, smelling the armpit if you remember, and pulling the head down. Number 3, for the front, start the same way again. But this time, after we have the stretch on, we're actually going to be looking the other way. So we're going to be looking away from the armpit and then leaning the head back, pulling the chin in. Almost like I want to look at the ceiling. It's a bit of a tricky thing, and sometimes you end up getting more compression on the neck than you get stretch. That can be a neck issue, completely separate. In most cases, it's just technique. So give it a couple of tries. Just hold the position like we did before. Take a deep breath. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then breathe out and see if there's a little bit more give there as you breathe out and relax. Of course, don't forget to do it on the other side as well. If you notice that one side is a lot more tender or stiff than the other side, then I would advise do a 2-to-1 ratio. Do a little bit more on the area that needs it more. Okay, so that completes the first 3 parts, and that completes the entire neck if you would divide it in a side, back, and front, as we usually do. So these 3 exercises, and I'll bundle them in a little video series, super important to do on a daily basis. So I hope this was helpful to you. If you have any questions, you can either leave a comment below or send me a message directly. Give me a thumbs up, and if you think somebody else might benefit from this, give the video a share as well, and I'll see you at the next video. Bye.